pro-Palestine action on campus. It's been very different in format to how it was last year. However, seeing as the genocide has been ongoing for as long as it's been going on now, the messages haven't changed. We're still driving constantly for the university to divest and put pressure on the uni to divest its illegal investments into the occupations.
It is not an option of whether or not to continue the struggle on this campus. It must go on until divestment is achieved.
It's been brought to their attention. They have delayed discussing it and discussing divestment for months and months and months, and no one's holding them accountable. So as students, we are holding them accountable to their actions and hoping that they have some humanity, which they show none of.
As long as the settlers walk on Palestinian soil, eat its food, breathe its air, steal its land, as long as the settler occupies, as long as the settler exists, we cannot even begin to think that we can quote-unquote take a step back. Our comfort is not worth more because we were born in the colonial phase of the world and benefit from that every single day. We are all complicit when we pay our tuition, we are all complicit when we attend our classes, and we are all complicit whether we want to admit it to ourselves. And we must not forget that. Free Palestine!
The recent protest came after the quote-unquote ceasefire was broken. I mean, it was never a ceasefire in the start, but when the genocide restarted, basically. So there was a protest organised by groups. However, there was an interruption by a drunken Scottish man who stormed through campus. Everyone saw him coming. Security were there, present, saw him coming. He went into the middle. This man was allowed to go through, was allowed to see Kyle a couple times, call people terrorists a couple times, or more than a couple times. He was clearly drunk, clearly very aggressive, clearly wanting to seek a violent reaction. And then there was he was carrying a box knife and slashed a student activist, a student protester, and across the face, and the university did nothing.
We are here today because we have had enough, because a student was attacked with a box cutter on our very own campus. They were targeted while speaking out for Palestine, and when help was called for, when security was begged, they chose to do nothing. This university's silence is not neutral, it is strategic. It is the same silence they have practiced for years as they sit in those offices as Gaza was burning. It is the same silence that allows them to maintain partnerships with arms manufacturers, accept donations from Zionist institutions, and invest in companies profiting from occupation. If pro-Palestinian students are threatened, attacked or harmed, that is acceptable collateral. If standing up for justice costs lives and spills blood on their own campus, those lives are deemed expendable. This is the logic of colonizers. This is the logic of genocide. And this is the logic that lives at the core of this university's complicity. They want us to separate these things, to pretend that what happens in Gaza is somehow disconnected from what happens on this campus. But we see the line clearly. The surveillance, the silencing, the selective policing of protests, the demonization of Palestinian activism, the refusal to intervene when a student is attacked, all of it is rooted in the same systems of repression.
The university will not protect you. This security placed on this campus, listening to our protests and running around as if their duty is to protect you, even they will not protect you. This university enables violence towards its own students as well as actively invests in the genocide of the Palestinian people. We have seen the university exactly for what it is. From arms to sophisticated technological weaponry, these affiliations alone reflect the intent of this institution. Never forget, this is Balfour's University. From 1917 till this very day, Balfour's University is implicated in the occupation and genocide of the Palestinian people. This university cannot save you, and it will consistently try to weaken you. But as we know, the students united will never be defeated, and that's why we will continually fight for free Palestine. Free, free! Palestine! Free, free! Palestine!
It then speaks to the university's attitude, because all of these protests that have been organised, there is a heavy security presence working towards the safety of the student body, according to them. However, that security failed to do their job. They're not there to secure, they're there to surveil.
Peter Madison, Colm Harmon, Kim Graham, Lee Chalmers, and all you other greedy, selfish, miserable monsters! Divestment is inevitable.
We will not stop, we will not rest.